Being stressed, anxious, and or depressed really sucks. We've compiled some of the best studies from all over the world to help you to help yourself. Let's get into it, team. Hey, I'm Matty from The Chief Life. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to make sure that you get our ongoing content. And of course, if you do enjoy this video, give us a little thumbs up and share it with your friends. I had my team put together a whole heap of different studies around stress and how we can best mitigate stress. And what we kind of came to was these different dot points based off of all the studies that are coming out. So it may seem a little bit simple, it may seem like some are a little bit airy-fairy potentially, but this is what the science is saying. So this is something that I urge you to try. And if you haven't tried it already, give it a shot. What's the worst thing that can happen? You can come back and tell me, hey Matty, you were wrong. So the things to help you mitigate stress are doing less. Who would have thought? Okay, and what we mean by this, I think more so is being more constructive with your days, making sure you're not overloading your days and making sure you're not trying to do too much. Do less in your day, be more effective, more efficient with the things that you are doing. Focus on the positives. As a little test, think about one of the worst things that's happened to you recently. What I want you to do is flip that and think of what the silver lining might have been from that situation. If we constantly focus on the positives, what we do is we attract more positives into our lives. If we wake up and we start our day off by watching the news, you are 33% more likely to have a negative day because all they show you is negative garbage. So if we are watching negative garbage, that sets you into a state of being negative already. If we can set ourselves up with positive things, maybe like this video, or maybe like a podcast, or maybe like just getting outside and smiling to individuals out in the community, you might find that you have a better day because you're attracting that positiveness into yourself. Doing something as simple as taking a notepad and writing down your goals as if you have already achieved them can be massive for what it does for your confidence and how it boosts up your day. For instance, instead of saying one day I am going to be wealthy, writing down I am financially free is a massive thing that can set you up. It starts to put you in the correct mind frame for what you need to be doing on that day. Obviously, that is only one example. Writing down multiple goals is what is really kind of seen to. Give yourself a small piece of paper and fill that whole piece of paper with the different goals as I am instead. The other side is also visualizing, thinking of, say for instance, your favorite car, the car you want to drive, the car that is like the dream car, thinking of yourself walking up to that car, opening the door, putting the key in the ignition if it has a key, or just starting that bad boy up and envisioning yourself or visualizing yourself driving off in that car. Something like that can be so powerful and can really just give you that boost that you need day to day. Start a conversation. Find yourself a random, find yourself a friend, find yourself someone that you work with day in, day out, and talk to them. Connection is something that we are missing in this world that is ever so connected through social media. That whole fake world that gets seen on social media is not necessarily how we are feeling. Talking about how you are feeling, expressing yourself, but also just having a general conversation about who that person is, where they came from, their best stories that they love to tell, so you can then potentially even use those stories to tell and start another conversation with someone else. Eat healthy and a whole balanced diet as much as possible. I'm not going to harp on about this because I talked about it before, but things to understand is that you have a gut and a brain connection. What we eat gets digested in the stomach and can highly affect how your brain is working. Learn to manage your time more effectively. I've done two things recently that have been a complete game changer to how my time is looking day to day and given me more, time freedom. What it comes down to for me was building out my calendar. I know well in advance as to what I'm doing. The day before, I'll definitely have it looked at so I know what is coming up for the following day. It almost allows me to visualize what that day might look like. For instance, I knew today being Wednesday when I'm filming this, that I was going to be filming as of last week. I knew Wednesday was my film day for this week. Second thing was using the power list, and this is something that Andy Frisella uses and it works a treat. What it is writing down the 5 most valuable things that you can get done in that day and making sure that you're getting them all done before you sign off for work in that day. making sure that they are things that are going to be effective and efficient for your day and for moving you forward. It helps me know that I have done something good for me, for my business, for my life. And it might not necessarily be work related. It could also be health related. It could also be connection related. Set limits and learn how to say no. We talked about this briefly before, but learning to say no, I think the biggest thing around it is that people feel that they're not going to be accepted. They have to say yes, yes, yes to everything so they feel more respected, more loved by people, that we're accepted in general. But I think people actually respect you more when you have boundaries, when you know what is a solid yes and what is a solid no. Learning how to say no and learning how to voice it can be some of the hardest things, but once you do learn how to say no to the things that are not serving you as an individual, you will find a hell of a lot more success and a hell of a lot less stress from doing so. Make time for hobbies. Tell me, what are your hobbies? If Netflix is one of them, I will not accept that. That is not a hobby. I love to go out and do things like archery, bow hunting, surfing. These are all things that give back to me. They fill up my cup. What are the things that fill up your cup when you do them? It might be going out for a walk. It might be hanging out with friends. Whatever those things are, like, write down your hobbies and now figure out how you can bring them into your life more regularly, more frequently. Making sure that we are doing these things to fill our cup up allows us to be able to give to others around us and to give to our day-to-day, and it allows us to reduce our stress levels. Don't rely on alcohol or drugs. If you brought me someone who was binge drinking, bulk taking drugs every single weekend, I could easily enough spin that person around and say, hey, look, this is someone who is lonely and potentially even depressed. These out-of-body stimulants are exactly that. They're leaned on to make you feel better. Knowing that these cause more stress in the body than what they might let you off to feel straight away, the come down effect from them can be absolutely ridiculous and can be a negative effect on the body. We understand that some of these things might be addictive, so getting yourself help, asking for help, whether it's from friends or getting yourself to either a drug or alcohol clinic, can be one of the best things you will ever do for your life. And last of all, if you are feeling stressed and not able to relieve this stress, or you're feeling so stressed that you are depressed, please, please, please ask for help. You are never alone. You always have help. And whether it's from a psychologist, a counselor, or from a friend, making sure that you are asking for help. The simple act of asking for help can be enough sometimes for people to reduce that amount of stress and relieve the chest, that you can actually just get on and start doing things. The simple act of asking for help is massive. So guys, to wrap up this video, I am going to give you 5 methods or practices that you can use in your day-to-day life to help you to reduce stress. Number 1, we have already talked about, is deep breathing. In particular, breathing through your nose. Remember, that activates your diaphragm or your belly breathing, which in turn activates your vagus nerve and calms the system down. Number 2 is meditation, and it really comes down to finding a practice that you like, finding something that resonates with you, that you can go back and bring into your life every single day. The biggest thing is that once we find it, we do need to be consistent. So, well, there's 2 biggest things: finding something you like, finding some consistency in it. Whether it is listening to an app, or if you find listening to an app absolutely brain damaging, then don't do it. Find yourself something else. Getting outside and being with nature, following your breath. It might be that you do love listening to an app. Finding whatever works for you and sticking to it as consistently as. Number 3 is progressive muscle relaxation. If you don't know what this is, it's essentially following someone's voice to think about relaxing different parts of your body. You can check this out by typing it into YouTube, and you might find different 14, 15 minute long videos of people essentially talking to you about how to breathe and how you can breathe that into different locations. So for instance, if you had a tight shoulder, we could talk about breathing in oxygen, focusing it on that point of your body and working out how to relax those muscles that are potentially tight and full of tension. Number 4 is mental imagery relaxation, or also known as visualization. Going through and thinking of a scenario in your head, building it out, and making sure that it looks as real or as lifelike as possible. For instance, closing your eyes and thinking about your kitchen, imagining everything in your kitchen, and progressing forward like that. It might be that you build a cave or something like that. Whatever it is visualization in general is a massive thing that can help you out, whether it's envisioning what your future might look like, or whether it's just, like I said, envisioning what your kitchen looks like. Number 5 is finding yourself some music to relax to, whether it's just putting on some of your favorite tunes, or whether it's using an app, something like Brain FM, which is something I've started using recently. I really do love it. It's got 3 different channels. It literally is focus, sleep, or relaxation. Finding yourself something like that where it typically just chills you the F out. Putting on some tunes that you enjoy, sitting down and just enjoying that moment. And whether it's at home or if you're actually at work, putting some tunes on in the background can really help you to reduce the stress and actually make you focus on the task that is at hand. So that is it. That is the summary of some of the best research papers we've been able to find across the world for reducing or mitigating stress. Hopefully that has been really useful for you. If you haven't seen our other 2 videos from this 3-part series, please go ahead and check them out by clicking the links above. Outside of that, team, I hope this has been really insightful for you, and I really hope that you're having a great day or a better day after watching this video. Thanks heaps. That is it from me today here at The Chief Life. You can visit me at www.thechieflife.com.